Live
Why are
on
we not keeping count?
and it's
Yeah,
Episode
what episode
20.
are we?
No,
the overall
15, 15 through
the
20. That's what I'm guessing.
overall. I
like
don't
that.
know. This is the second portfolio review that or roaster, whatever you want to call it, but it is the birthday boy's chance at the campfire to get
Go
lightly
easy on me.
considered. S'more Tristy, I guess.
Hey.
And so today, what do you have to show us? Because last time Vanessa showed us her entire progression from the very first attempt at an architectural portfolio to her present one. And it was basically all the same projects and just different iterations, different attempts, completely redoing it. So, Tristan, what you got?
Yeah, so my approach to it was for some reason I had it in my mind to split up undergrad work from grad work and to only present the latest work. So I've been applying to jobs with only my grad work being shown. So we can go through both. The first one is going to be, all undergrad work. And then hopefully I will have improved, like just portfolio building on the graduate stuff. But you guys will get to see some kind of progression. Though my method was a lot different from Vanessa in that, like, she kind of mapped things out, even like down to um, the color schemes you wanted to go for, and like making sure everything was pristine. I just feel like I kind of stumbled through mine, but I instead of iterating, I tried to master just the one, and it's evolved kind of at least while I was making it. Like this undergrad one, throughout undergrad school and a little bit, maybe a year or two afterwards, I was shaping it more. It was kind of a continuous process, and then the grad school one was a process as well. And I'd say I'm not even done with it really, but for the time being, I am. I got a job, so um, another thing that we could throw in is our portfolios only for jobs, or of course, if you're going for a job teaching, a portfolio becomes a lot more important, and it kind of turns into like other majors have theses, thesi that they have to do to get their doctorates, and I guess we would too if we were going for another degree. Or some schools, I know some other programs, like master's programs, make their architecture students do a thesis. But ultimately, if you wanted to do a teaching job after school, the thesis is kind of what you carry into your interview, and you would say, "Yo, this is what I'm really going for." Um, just like some of the professors we know, like might really be obsessed with Corpus Christi and the post-oil environment. But yeah, it's like you got to find that lane that you care about the most, and that you have some kind of nuance on, and you like push that. Of course, the portfolio is a little different. That's just like showcasing what you've done in your studios. But hopefully, you'd be able to tell a story through that, and we'll see if I manage to do that. What you guys think? So
Hello.
should we jump into it?
Yeah, share that portfolio. Let's see it. So,
Let's go.
which one are we seeing first?
We'll start chronologically. We'll go undergrad. See if I can get it. All right. This is my super captivating cover page. Trying to think when I started this thing and when I finished. It was definitely fourth year, and I was trying to get it before the career fair. In fact, I'm missing the final project from fourth year within this portfolio. So it's non finito, it's unfinished, but it's got a good portion of everything else. So this is a first year drawing. This is one of one of those finals from, I think it was Professor Wheat's class. Good times.
Is this a
I think
scan?
it was do what?
Is this a scan?
Yes. Yeah.
It feels like it.
I
Yeah,
think
is
I
this a
added I think it already had a gradient to it, like it was unevenly scanned, and then I like leaned into it and put like a white gradient at the bottom. But yeah,
the bottom left corner?
it really starts like reflecting light.
Not
Not
of
the
the
most
actual
high quality.
the whole canvas though. The bottom left corner of the whole canvas.
Like that.
Is that
You can see that.
a blank spot?
Looks like it.
Bro.
Maybe it's a architectonic border or something. No, yeah. I was
Or it's a fuck up.
kind of lazy with the scanning of things. That's one thing that people don't tell you. And if we're doing this to help students in the future, the documenting that you do on your work is super important. Uh, just doing it with like an iPhone camera. Well, who knows what we'll have in the future, but and some of the cameras are better than scanners nowadays. So maybe if you can do it properly, but if you can get like a camera box and like a background, something, you're gonna have to Photoshop some things. I think we'll see some examples where I didn't do that when I should have, like straightening drawings because of like your camera perspective. Sometimes it's just stuff you have to do, especially for like this first year, second year, handcrafted stuff that's not in the computer already. But any more critiques before we move on?
On the cover.
Yeah.
Why all the same size of fonts?
What do you mean this is bold?
There's no hierarchy of scale. Boldness
Yeah.
is just a way of being in life. It's not. No, I'm joking, but
Yeah.
y-
Yeah,
yeah, some hierarchy of it.
yeah, I see what you
What's up,
mean.
Mustafa?
I was just gonna say it's not a good cover.
Expand, Gustavo, for the
Go.
viewers.
Well, it looks like a pretty worn like booklet they would give you at graduation. It looks like a
Oh,
photo of that.
Lord.
oh Lord.
Those
Um,
pamphlets.
yeah,
Fair
pretty.
enough.
Yep, like Monty was saying, there's no hierarchy in the lettering. It's pretty basic. Pretty. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's pretty simplistic. It
So,
could use some work, and hopefully it worked out better in the next couple of versions you're gonna show.
so what do you guys think? Cover photos always or cover pages always stump me. It's like, should I include some like a piece of work from the studios, or should I save that for when I actually get to that in the portfolio? It's like trying not to reveal too much. Like, what do you guys think a cover photo should be, if anything? Maybe it's
I
just text.
I think a cover photo could be anything. It doesn't even have to be architecture related. It should just have good quality. Um, it could if you don't have good quality, it could even just be a title. Sometimes I'd prefer to just see a title and a blank sheet than to see um not thought out cover pages.
Yeah. So the quality is a big thing. Is that kind of what you're saying, Gustavo? It's kind of like you said it was like worn. Like it looks too like arts and crafty, like homemade, thrown together.
Yeah, it has a bit of that vibe.
Okay. All right, we'll see how we did in the next one.
And
But
honestly, with like the cover page, you don't even have to. 'Cause in this case, you could have even cropped that image in a way, or we don't have to see the complete drawing, but it has to look like a cover page, and not like a spreadsheet.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna actually. Oh, it sound like that. That's what I was actually gonna talk about. For cover pages, I usually just go abstract with it. Maybe even a zoom in of a spot of one of my projects to make it something architectural, but not giving them the full thing. Sort of like a sneak preview of what this is gonna
yeah,
be about.
I like that. I could have like zoomed into a super
Oh
close
yeah, I mean,
part
I'm
of
sure it would
this
have been
drawing.
dope. Would have been dope if you done that.
Yeah, in this
Yeah.
instance, it would have been cool to play with the fonts more than. I think the cover page is really just playing more with the titles than honestly anything else, even the piece behind the titles. Playing with the font and the color, the size, the
Yeah.
placement.
If you would have blown it out, you probably could have even done the placement on the actual image, like in those spaces, and make that an even architectural or spatial design in itself.
Yeah. Does my mic still sound weird?
Yeah, it's all tinny.
Oh man,
Check the settings.
I haven't even messed with the settings.
No, just go into Discord and click on settings,
Oh,
and then make sure the bright one is chosen.
I don't know if y'all noticed this, but like, I mean, the colors are what throws it off a lot, but also in the architectural field, when an axon is off, we know right away. And since the scanning of it makes it look a little off, like it's skewed,
Right.
it makes it really noticeable. And I mean, like we were talking about, portfolios are used a lot for getting jobs and whatnot. If a potential new boss sees this, they're gonna be like, "Oh snap! Didn't get a line straight."
Hmm.
Right.
Gotcha. How do I sound now?
Way better.
Much better.
Okay.
Much
Yeah, I
better.
was just using this mic instead of this one. Okay.
Rough.
Yeah, I agree. And since it was a drawing, who knows if it's actually exonometrically, orthographically projected the right way it should be.
Cheers, here.
Yeah. Okay, so moving forward, I always kind of have stuck to this thing where you put your resume. This is an old resume, by the way, on the left, and
Bro.
then you put your table
Is that
contents on the
picture?
right.
Man on
Yeah,
bad boy.
that was a while back. I took the picture out because another little piece of advice. I think someone told me that it's employers will like subconsciously take note of the picture, and if they don't like the picture, they won't like you as a potential employee, just subconsciously. And so it's like just ammo that you use against yourself. So the image, it's like it could be fancy or whatever, but I I'm I didn't want to take the chance, especially with that picture. But anyways, this is what I go for in my like second page, I guess. Just trying to outline myself and then outline what the portfolio is going to be about. I'll keep going. All right, moving in, second year. So I just went chronologically here. In each page, I have this kind of cover where the backgrounds. I think I got at some point in school, I took a day to just pin up everything from each semester and then snap a photo of it. And these are like shitty iPhone photos, so you're not going to get much clarity. It's more just for the overall kind of scene, setting the mood, I guess. And then we kind of move into more specific exercises like the precedent studies that we all did. God, that scan thing right down the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not even the crease. It was that machine, or maybe it is a crease. Yeah, the scanners
The
at the school
crease.
sucked. And these sheets were like 20 inches by 20 inches or something like that. It was a weird, awkward shape. And they're like kind of skewed, as I said before. Like it's not parallel with like the edge. And they're kind of rotated in some spots. And even the models, it's like hard to fix that camera perspective unless you really know like your Photoshop skills. But I'm not going to criticize myself too much. I'm still pretty proud of this stuff.
I mean, it's
Then we
solid.
move to next
Just
semester.
that
Do what?
layout, though. Like, I mean, we know now, but like the money shot's what's supposed to be. I
Yeah,
stand
there's
that, and
no
then
real
everything is supporting.
hierarchy.
Right. It just all like here's my work.
Yeah,
I feel
grid it
like
out.
our first run through portfolios, I feel like a lot of us just wanted to get as much as we could. Like even in that cover for this one, you had all them images. And I'm like, dang, if you would have zoomed in on one of the badass ones, and it would have been ice. But like, I don't know. I guess that's a mentality we had as an undergrad, that we wanted to just show how much we did, and even if it wasn't good or not, just to show how much we did.
Improve it.
The
Like,
actual
hey,
time to decide what is it that I want to show and portray, that hey, I can do
Yeah,
this, and not that I can do all this, but this is what I can do.
yeah. I think we like just felt like we put so much work into the stuff that we had to show it all and show it
Which
off.
we did.
But ultimately, if you can get like one good shot that really encompasses the whole project, whoever's looking at it will be like, yeah, I get it right away. Makes sense. Next semester. Ooh, this was John's class. Fun stuff.
the Barbies.
But I kind of went with the same. I mean, there's not like a consistent like the title's always in the same spot. The information, which if I was to go back, I would make it consistent. Just make like a title block and just run with it. But I kind of I shifted everything to kind of fit the whatever was being portrayed, which is another skill I think I would say that you got to pick up is like if we were using like InDesign, setting up like your scopes of what like where your content's going to be on the paper and sticking to it and not letting the picture itself like dictate the format, because sometimes you got to like crop things off in certain places, or you just got to make things smaller than what you wanted it to be, or bigger, or yeah. I don't think I had that down quite yet at this stage, but some more work. I think I kept the title block kind of similar, except the background is kind of faded there. The whole thing's faded. That's weird. Another thing I put like in the bottom right is like the medium that I used. I don't think I followed through with this on my grad portfolio, but I think I emphasized like the programs that I used, and sometimes that like saved me answering questions about like in an interview about the projects. They're like, "Oh, what did you use for this?" And I'll be like, "Oh, just look at the page. I use like these three programs to put it all together." And sometimes people think it's cool and sometimes they don't really care. They just want to see what it looks like. This one was rough. This was Boswell's class. I only had
Where's
the
the
one page for
scale?
that. Oh yeah, and the scales everywhere. But hey, the scale bar It's on there. They're just completely different sizes.
I
Yeah.
remember back in the day, we would just slap that thing on there. All right, here's a scale.
Yeah. Exactly. God, I did some
One-
questionable
That's one
things on
thing.
here.
As undergrad, we didn't really realize how big of an emphasis we should have put on the actual diagramming of the drawings and having all that, like the scale, the north arrow, everything all lined up, everything from bottom to top, left to right, all these
Or
other
just
things.
making things look cohesive. Because you could do like these different diagrams by themselves and then you put it together and try to document it, and it just looks like a mess. And I would say I did the right version of that in Alamati's, just because she put so much emphasis on doing that for the poster boards, making everything cohesive. I like
Yeah.
this project. Monty, what do you say? And this one I kind of did try and throw in some hierarchy, especially once we get to the drawings. I think
Ew.
this was my best page, where there's a lot of information for this project, but distilling it down to just the basics in one page. And I've gotten lots of compliments on this page in particular when I've shown it in interviews, especially the section.
I know, right? It's
But
pretty nice, huh?
yeah, I know.
It's
Good
a
job,
nice
Monty.
section. That's a lovely section. It's just beautiful. All,
Yeah,
all
the
the
full
angles and
bleed
stuff.
really works out here. I wish I would have
Yeah.
like carried that through more.
Wait, go back to that cover.
The cover?
Oof.
Which cover? This
The
cover?
cover of no, the cover of the first page of this
First
project
page.
of the project.
This.
Isn't it one more back?
Kind of. That's like kind of inspiration, but yeah, no. Forward one more. Yeah, no money shot. It's like
Yeah.
all of our study models are on the first. Where's the drawing that you did?
Oh man, it's not on here.
Bro, I put that as the cover of this whole thing. And like you don't even have it in your portfolio? I put that one rendering in here for you
got it.
because you spent 50 hours on this thing. I don't even know. It's too
Yeah, that
long.
Bro,
was
I
that was
had
a
I
to
wouldn't
work
long
have
the
night.
hired you
entire
from hearing
model,
that.
bro.
Wouldn't have hired you.
Oh, it's
There
on
it
the
is.
wall? Oh shit, damn.
Oh
Right
wow.
next to
That's
your
clean though.
painting you did for me.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, I
Bro,
didn't think
that
about that.
rendering.
I should have.
Bro, I put your rendering as the like title page and it's like slanted now, Tristy. It's
Hold
like
on.
but that is a damn fine rendering. That should be the cover of the entire portfolio if you had one.
Agreed. Agreed.
Put that and I even inverted it too, so it's even cooler with the black and white. So,
Good
bro,
Uh,
Photoshop. Click.
bro,
Control
I don't know
I.
how
Yeah.
you feel about this, but that title,
Just
upright one, upright,
Oh yeah. No
bro.
space in between
No,
the.
yeah, no
I
space, and
didn't.
then two, and then one. Looks all.
Yeah.
the
I'm
Yeah,
telling
definitely
you,
fun theme.
alignments.
Not my
Mm-hmm.
proudest.
This one's nice. I appreciate that one.
People get confused about this one because they're like, "Did you draw this?"
I was talking about this
Yeah,
one.
I
Or you
I
should
didn't
have.
have like a bunch of sketches to put on the wall for this one
Should
for
have
the
just done
studio.
one. It's well done.
Yeah. Even this
Oh,
one was kind of weird chopping up the poster boards. The scale's all the same.
You should have
But I
chose
don't know.
that.
I put like that big like space for the on the bottom left that just kind of doesn't fit in.
You could have reformatted your graphics to fit on the page instead of the poster board.
Bro was lazy with it.
Yeah. I also don't think I had like my workflow set up the right way. Like, you know how you'd link something into something and then link it into another thing. So you have like the base
Mhm.
graphic by itself. I don't think I ever did that.
Mm.
I was lazy with it.
Are you lazy?
Not lazy, but I just didn't. I was under experienced, I guess.
Are you lazy?
This one was alright.
Trash.
Yeah, I think I should have just went with like a cover or sorry, a title block and just stuck to it. There's too much like shifting around here. Here's fourth year. Only managed to get the one project in.
Bro, that all our renderings and that, except for was it Victoria? All our
Yeah.
renderings were horrible.
Yeah, we just
Yep.
rushed Lumia or
Mine was
yeah,
so
Lumia.
bad. I'm not even proud of that at
He
all.
had us put them out in the hallway too. I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we
I
had
was
to
like,
print
I don't
them
know
out
about
in
that.
the
We had to
hallway.
print them out in that good paper too, didn't we?
Yeah.
Spent like $9
Yeah.
for that print. They all were trash.
I forget if people were able to like Photoshop the Lumion logo off of that too.
Yeah, some people just left it. I don't know what this Adobe's doing with some of my text box, but
That's because it's
um
pure black.
Mhm.
yeah, something happened there. See, I didn't even know about like pure black and all that stuff.
For me either. It's hard.
Put in some work from other classes as well. Some of the ones I was somewhat proud of, like the DigiFab class. Yeah, these are all from DigiFab. And then that what was it called?
Hyperlink.
Hypermobility class. And then
Oh
something
yeah, that
from
class, Tristy.
You
this
should
one's
have
kind of
added
rough.
the Monty and Clint Photoshop here. That would have shown good Photoshop.
Yeah, that's also my work, my important work. This one's pretty cool if they actually read all this stuff. But that's it. There's no ending page. How do y'all feel about ending pages? It's like thank you or whatever.
I don't gotta have one. Just make a blank one.
Yeah.
Something nice.
You could have, I mean, I don't know how people feel about this, but I know some people recommended me to have like other things at the end. It doesn't have to be long, it could be like a page. So, for example, like if you like photography, to add some pictures of it, hopefully architectural. Because at least like one or two people suggested that to me when I didn't have it. I don't know how helpful it is. I don't feel like people really pointed it out in interviews or anything. Yeah, endings are kind of weird. In my
Yeah.
portfolio now, I even started to add some essays I wrote in school. But that's just because I'm trying to compile all my work together.
Yeah. I've seen some like examples of really good portfolios where the person has like a hobby that's kind of architecture adjacent, like furniture making maybe, and then they add in some examples and it spices things up like that.
Mhm.
But I don't think at the time I had a ton of like architecturally related. I wish I did.
Can always link the videos. Made in Halamodi.
Oh yeah. Well, nowadays I link this podcast. Be like, yo, I'm at least talking about some stuff here, because
Zero
a lot of
views.
a lot of students just get out of school and then they go to work and they forget the important stuff of what school taught us. They're just in it for the money, I guess. I don't know. Or they just get stuck working for someone else and they never get to really form an opinion on anything.
Right, because
Anyways,
well, school is so different from work, and that's preparation, that's setup, that even expectation of what that job is, and then even down to how it's all even built and laid out. At school, I was off campus, but I drove 5 minutes to school, and I was walking all over it. It's extremely walkable. I would walk and be, oh, friends all over the place. But then now I'm driving into work, and I hate everybody on the road, you know? But so I
Dang.
killed the Instagram stream and trying out Facebook for now. It's ooh, we lost Gustavo. But
Gustavo, no. He said, "Okay, I'm a dip."
he was like,
He
oof,
got
that
mad.
was rough, bro. God, come out of here. It's mute.
He's like, I'm trying to hide from Facebook.
Yeah. He's like, "I'm not allowed on there. I'm canceled."
But
All
yeah,
right.
like Monty was
Well,
saying about the difference
there he is.
between professional and school, there's also that we should see. Whenever we're in interviews or we're actually even presenting these things, they're not looking at it for more than honestly 30 seconds. That's
Yeah.
something we failed to realize at that time, that these are like what they call the elevator talks or and whatnot. Those elevator conversations where you're just selling something in those 30 seconds that you can. And so always show that nice rendering, show some diagrams so that you know how to put a set together, and just by showing your drawings in a nice formatted way, and boom.
Yeah. It's always kind of rough because you don't know who your interviewer, like they might ask to see. A lot of interviews don't ask about it. They're not really concerned. Especially if it's just like depends on the job that it is. If it's just like a drafting job, they don't care. But if it's maybe an actual design position, then they'll definitely care. So you got to know your audience a little bit. And I've kind of sat in on some interviews where people out of school come in and show their portfolio, and I've kind of seen like my boss's reaction with these people who come in, and you can kind of just tell he's like flipping through it, and the students just talking, they're giving the whole spiel, the whole story about what that project was and the whole theory of it. And I just look over to my boss's eyes, and he's like, yeah, just shaking his head, trying to get past that point. He's really just trying to see if the student can talk about the project in an architectonic way, in a professional way, to where it can make some sense to anyone, as well as kind of display his like technical prowess in the project that he's showing. So, you can't get too bogged down. You have to put it in perspective of someone else who hasn't been in school for decades, and try and sell it to the outside world, because the school world is so much different from the professional architecture world. Um, so I'm gonna jump in the next one. This is my grad one done not too long ago. So
Jesus.
if I'm yeah, this cover page is interesting
Oh,
because it was a whole project in itself.
Interesting is a
Yikes.
good word.
what is this? It's like one of them like throwback collages that your grandma pulls out under the seat or something.
It's like a real, like, from the end of a Hallmark movie or something. It's
Where in the world is Carmen San Diego type of
Oh,
thing
you're
from the
muted,
90s.
Goose.
No,
I
he's
can
not.
hear him.
Oh wait,
Yep.
bro.
Yes. No.
Never mind.
Yeah, I can
No,
wait.
you're good. Man, y'all just riffing off each other.
Is that
Yeah, I was
papyrus
gonna
font?
say it reminds me of like
It is.
2008, like photo bucket or like there was like some photo editing softwares, but like from 2008, like MySpace
art?
era. Yeah, like it reminds me of that.
A clip art cover page.
So my
Leave me
goal
alone.
was to all these images within the little photo reels are like iterations that I used kind of on my own from the AI technology to try and come up with a like I think it was like a trust design. And they were kind of just like like a leftover exercise that I never really used. But in the talk of whether or not to put in stuff from studio projects on the title page, this was my solution for avoiding that, but adding something that I did kind of as a solo venture to because we weren't required to look into this AI stuff. It was just kind of that was when we were super crazy about it, and I was like, I'm gonna use this in studio because no one else is. But anyways, I took that stuff and I think the idea was to pair it with like an old medium. And it's like this super new software that gets displayed on like this old medium, like you're taking pictures on a camera and then you lay it out on a desk, and it was supposed to be more like a more of a like you're there. Like a theatrical kind of scene that you're looking at. But I can
What
see
am
what
I
y'all mean
looking
by
at?
the old
Like,
album
is
thing. It's all like
does it even like
photoshopped.
is it AI generated?
What the just the images within the photo reels are AI generated. Everything else is just like Photoshop layered in.
Yeah, I guess it's just not crazy enough to like those could just be studies that like a person did, and it's thought so obvious that it's AI. Like, why the A-frame? Why the focus on just structure? Why the wood behind it? Why the is that like a folder, I guess? But if it's AI, it's like visually like okay, that's AI. Like visually capture, put also like the iterations of it and the whole AI that like morphs and moves. It's like a frame of that, or if it was like morphing. That's it.
Gotcha. Just more questions, which is maybe the point of my cover page. Raise the questions.
But are they good questions?
Will they have good answers? We'll see. So
Trash.
kind of um, the same layout. I stuck with the whole. I think this is what people call the CV page, but really it's just a resume. That I mean, I tried to look up the difference of a CV and a resume, and I didn't really quite get it. One is more educational, I think, and one is more professional.
It's more about the length. A resume is a quick shot, a 1 to 2 sheet max, where the CV is especially for people older who have a bunch of projects. It's like, hey, here's everything I've
Oh,
done in my career. It's like it's basically like a project list for us of everything.
gotcha.
Oh yeah, one time I saw my boss's resume and it wasn't even a resume. It was like project list. It was like I signed on these buildings.
That's crazy. All you have to do once you get to that level, just list the stuff you've worked on. It's a bit harder for us newbies out there. Prove your worth. Okay, so oh, and one thing note, there's only 3 projects on this portfolio. In grad school you have 2 years, 4 studios typically, but I chose 3, and I tried to keep it short, specifically as a goal to try and keep it, because each of these projects I tried to dive a little deeper into instead of just having like 2 pages on the last portfolio.
Up with this
Uh,
text though.
Yeah, I had
Hold up,
some
yeah.
comments on that.
Yeah,
Right.
back it
Yeah,
up.
back it up.
Y'all don't like papyrus?
Bro, what are we missing?
Yeah, so I would say that you can reformat your resume in your spread. So it could be the most aesthetic, like the most pleasing graphically to look at. Because you can have this resume on 8.5 by 11, like that copy you already have, but like you can reformat it graphically, which I know you know how to do because you do it. You have a good eye when it comes to presentations. I feel like when it comes to documenting it in a portfolio, it's like you just put it, like you place it exactly how you worked on it on that sheet and put it in a new, or like you're trying to fit it into this new size. Whereas you could just reformat it the way that you have been on these, what, I don't know how to call it, but like these presentation boards. Yeah. Because you do know how to format and place it on presentation boards, so you should be able to do it on this portfolio and not paste what you already did on the spread, because that's the challenge of the portfolio, is the new size.
I gotcha. Yeah. I think that's just a factor of laziness on my part.
Well, to me,
Moving.
it's like more like
You lazy.
it's like more the text that's on the opposite side of the dust cover in a book. Like, you know, you open up the book and then on your left hand side there's a little bit of text. That's what it reminds me of. So yeah, if you format it a bit better so it doesn't look as squished in, it would look more purposeful that it's there the way it's supposed to be.
Gotcha. So first project, I start with this full bleed image, and then I put the name of the project, and then this was like a last second idea, but I put like a quote, which kind of represents what a big thought that I had in my head about the project. And so it's not like a subtitle where it explains something about the project. It's like a dialogue, like my inner dialogue.
Mm.
So it's a different approach, and I'm not sure if it's effective with employers, but that's
Can
what I
you
went with.
full screen it?
No, yeah, I really like that. That's probably my favorite thing I've seen so far. It even reminds me of,
Oh.
so there's this book I've read. I mean, it's not really a book, it's just a bunch of pictures and like this kind of inner dialogue. Uh I don't know what the book is called, but it's by architect Sue Fujimoto, and
Mm.
he has his concept photos and models, and but it's just like this kind of inner dialogue throughout the book, and it's like 100-page spread of just graphics and pictures and just documenting his like inner dialogue. But it's cool to see his inner dialogue with the process photos throughout. And he's not even
Right.
explaining the project or what that's for. And a lot of it was unbuilt.
Nice. Yeah. For some reason, especially this project, this was the HKS line studio, and Heath May was leading this one. And Heath May is like a really introspective type of person. He
Badass.
really knows, and the hair too. Now he knows how to like make you think and put like the emotion with the architecture. And this project was really cool because it was literally like the dream studio project where you're just making it was like a more of an installation than a building. So you didn't have like all the program elements like weighing you down, and it was like think outside the box and make something interesting. And so I guess the inner dialogue came from that, and that like it's like what do we do with this like installation type architecture where it's not so like logical, like we need to put the bathrooms over here and that over there. It's what are we trying to feel? So this is the first page, and the way I've laid out this portfolio is I think there's a research page, there's a process page, and then there's a final result page. And this is the research page. You guys tell me the most critical thing I have about this portfolio is that I load each page with maybe too much stuff and not enough white space or breathing room. I've kind of cut out white space from the whole portfolio. So you guys can tell me if it's really like a detriment so far or if it just kind of gets to the point. And I did fix the hierarchy thing throughout somewhat. Kind of got that down.
I think it's depends on what approach you want to take. So I would say that you should be treating your portfolio like a design project, because right now it's just giving off that feeling of a PowerPoint slide, um, where it's more informational and factual than it is like a design project. So I mean, if you're looking for more technical roles, I can see how this can work. But
Gotcha.
if you're trying to have like more artsy or like and I know like architecture does have a lot of technicality even within design rules, but if you're looking to pursue a position that has more potential for design, I feel like that's how you should treat your portfolio. But yeah, if you are looking for a technical job, this would be fine.
That's a good point. You should tailor your portfolio to what you think your strengths are in the professional world. And so I would say I am a more like technically, at least currently, I feel like I go through phases, but I'm really into like the technical stuff so far in my job. So maybe that's kind of reflecting, and I was doing this portfolio at the time after school actually while I was working. So maybe it kind of something happened there subconsciously. So here's the process page. You'll see I finally stuck to a title block. That's just kind of the gray tab on the left. Everything else is kind of up for grabs, just like making one picture bigger here and then trying to fit in what I can to get the narrative across. This one looks pretty cluttered because of the iterations that happen, and there's so many different ones. I kind of threw it all in there to just show the enumeration of it rather than the details of everything. They're all just massings anyways. Well, except for that top left maybe that's more like there's some detail in there, but I tried to keep it kind of base level for this process page. And then the next page is like all the final graphics that we get. This one isn't as hierarchical, somewhat, but this one had a lot to kind of shove into one page, and maybe I could have stretched it out more. But I think I limited myself to that 3 pages per project, and I didn't want to go over that, but maybe I should have. Shall I move forward? Are you guys just in awe You're like, damn, look at those graphics. Another thing I put is that this was a 3-member group project in the bottom left. Someone told me recently that it's like super important to put that, whether it's a group project or your solo project. I did not do that for undergrad portfolio. But yeah.
Wait, I am not named.
You're not. But I also don't show that portfolio anymore.
That's true.
Don't
That's a
worry, I'll
shame.
throw you in there.
No, but I mean, it's more of a discussion at the end. But I think you have some pretty strong projects, and like I didn't even see Bijan's in there.
Yeah, the very final one.
It was
Oh, I
trash.
guess I missed it.
No. I didn't put it in there. I mentioned that at the beginning. I finished the portfolio before we finished that project, and I never did go back and add it. So I should though.
Yeah.
But hey, there's a repeat of basically the same project coming up in this portfolio. So
Oh yeah.
don't worry.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Here's the integrated
Wait,
studio.
wait. Go back a
McBride.
little bit. That's so nice, bro. That's
Yeah.
excellent. That's beautiful. Like you just tried to speed on through that.
This is my favorite image in the whole portfolio.
Well,
Is this
damn.
supposed to be like tilted a little over there? The entry? Or is that
It is
right?
angled. It's
Oh,
not perpendicular to the camera, I guess. Yeah, it's a
It
kind
does
of a
look
funky
funky.
building.
yeah.
It is a
But
little
yeah,
funky.
this rendering is ice. A little
Yeah.
vignette that you added is everything.
Oh
Giving
yeah.
it that soft touch. People like that soft touch.
Yeah, I went back and these renderings were rough, and then I made it watercolory, and that kind of helps everything.
But then
This-
going from that to that,
Yeah.
it's like it's such a big switch up, and it's just so flat.
Yeah.
It's like too much. Like if it is this much, then just go even more.
Yeah, I feel the site research for this project wasn't my best. It is kind of like line work and like Illustrator-ish. Uh, that's like one of those things where it's like something in a project wasn't as good as it could be, and the only way to make it better is to go back and actually work on the project more. And I'm sure if Victoria was here, she'd be like, "Yeah, why don't you just go do it?" She did that for a lot of her stuff, but in the case of like not having time, I just kind of had to put it in, however it worked in the project. That's why I have a little bit more like just photos of the site instead of just trying to show these line diagrams. But moving forward to the process, I did want to kind of emphasize the last one had a drawing as well, but like the party drawing is what I'm trying to like emphasize here, as well as like the party model and keeping things as simple as possible. Because if I was showing this to an employer, I feel like that just showing the party, they kind of get it and it clicks right away. At least for the beginning, the early parts of the project.
What is the need to cram everything on one page? You can like space it out. Like you have those renderings at the top on the same page as like sketches and concept models, and as floor plans and sections and site plan. It's you can space this out and have it build up, because a thing you spoke about at the start was a story, telling a story. Well, my eyes are just bouncing all over. I'm not like focusing on one or hitting on through as you want me to see it. Because even think about our drawing sets, it starts big and then boom overall, and then boom all of the actual details of how to build it, and it just further and further in. So if you could, I doubt this will be completely redone, but more just like the idea of the future, like page turning is not a bad thing. Like
Yeah.
we aren't saving any trees having a smaller PDF.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. And that's something that could be done pretty easily. It's just like make another page and put half of this information over there and blow up the stuff that's more important. Yeah. I thought
Yeah.
about that as well. But I think portfolios can be thought of in two different ways. One of them is like presentational, where you are just like making it's kind of like in Alamati's we made the board and that's what's on the wall and that's what everyone's but then in like another studio I took like Oswald's, he liked digital presentations like slideshows, and when you do those you get to like flip through it and maybe there's like one small like difference in the graphic that you're doing that pops when you hit the next button, and you curate it for a kind of flipping through thing. I guess that wasn't on my mind when I made this portfolio. It was more like, let's throw everything in a compact way, so that if you were to just like send it off to a job through an email, they would have everything and not like this 50-page book of just like flipping through small changes. So yeah, but as I'm doing this with you guys, it is like a presentation format. So it doesn't really work that way. And some interviews, they'll look at your portfolio beforehand and then decide to interview you. Some of them want to run through it while you're interviewing. And that's when a presentation would definitely work more. But
Right.
I guess you got to just choose which one works better.
Especially sending it off. The file can only be so big. So pick the
Yeah.
best.
Exactly. You might just have to cut out sheets altogether from your portfolio.
I mean, I kind of even want to say like if your approach is to make it more technical instead of storytelling / creative, you should probably look at more like technical drawings and see how they do it. Even like maps, like even maps are designed. So like look at how maps display a bunch of information. And like of course a map is very different from a portfolio, but like you can learn something graphically from looking at informational based drawings that are like maps or infographics, um more along those lines, because I feel like right now it seems like you are approaching more of that factual side, but you're like still trying to do some elements of design that is consistent, but I don't think it really works. It because it does look like a slideshow, but I want that like technical side of you to really like shine in your portfolio, which I think you could do if you do start studying like infographics, maps, how a bunch of information could be on a spreadsheet or like a spread, 2 pages.
Yeah, definitely. Here's the final for that project. This one isn't as cluttered. Process is always rough because there's like so much process that actually goes into the project. And I should have cut this one down even more or spread it out even more like Monty's. I think that's my one like major downfall on this portfolio is trying to compact everything too much, which is a technical thing as well. I wish I knew how to make a website. Then you could really curate it however you want and put animations in it and everything. I've seen portfolios like that. The best. So So here's that final
Right.
project. You guys all know this one. I still don't like this rendering for some reason. I think it just needs more life, cars and people in it. It's too
Get rid of the grunge.
really.
Yeah. There's already too much gray for you to be adding grunge to it. It just makes it look like those Oswald ones we did in, what was it, second year?
Yeah. Yeah. The research page. It's funny because we didn't really do research on this project. We did site analysis, which is a list of different maps to overlay the Hoser method way. But I kind of had to post analyze this one, I guess, and most of it is just picture. But more analysis, or not analysis, iteration, which wasn't really iteration for this project, but it was more like these hardline drawings that I was kind of proud of. But once again, I think the formatting could have been less cluttered here. Yeah, there's just so much for these projects. And here's the final page, which I throw in, I think, my best rendering in grad school as the hierarchical image, then everything else kind of around it.
So much information. I mean, it does like kind of help. Like, okay, I can see all the project at once, but like the plans, all the detail, the names, it's just all lost. And like that section, you could probably have all that text off of there, and just have a section, you know,
Yeah.
or the facade study, the thing on the right of the rendering.
Yeah, I would say that
Yeah.
like your drawings, like the ones you worked on, they're really nice, and you could tell you put a lot of effort into the renderings, the drawings, sections, plans. There's a lot of thought behind that I feel like it's a bit distracting, like your portfolio layout, or like it doesn't make it look as strong as it actually is.
I got you. I think it's just like what Monty said. I need to take like each one of these things and just give it a whole page. But it's tough, like formatting and condensing it down. And I think I reduced this file like 3 times, and like the least I could get it was like 30 megs or something. It's rough.
Yeah, like
I need
I'd
a
say you
website.
probably get yourself a website, or
Yeah.
at least for now, add like a page or two extra to each one of your projects here, because it would help a lot to declutter these. Give your big visual moments the space they need. Like that's a really good rendering, but it's like compressed and all this all the other technical drawings, which are pretty good. Like you say, you're more into the technical stuff, but maybe give that its own page, so
Yeah.
that that's the focus of like a single page. And
Yeah.
give it room to breathe.
Definitely.
I did.
I think as soon as you add, like, you can put one good image, but as soon as you add others, just like
Mm.
subconsciously, your mind is like, oh, there's more stuff on the page, and you're saying that this one image is really cool, but it's not as important as it could be because there's other stuff on the page. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. That's something that at some point I do want to commit myself to come back to this one and fix it, be right, because this is the final portfolio I'll do.
Yeah, I
No
agree.
doctorate degree for me.
Yeah, I agree that even if you don't have time, just focus on one and make that the best you can.
Yeah, for sure. That's the end, though. 3 projects and all
That's
that
it.
information. I could have done 4.
And so on this most recent job hunt, have you been showing any of this or any of the stuff from
So
your job or both? Or
As
none?
soon as you tell a firm that you've been working for a couple years, they're like, "Show me that stuff."
Right. They don't care at
Which-
all.
Yeah. Maybe if I was going for a design role, like specifically design, a lot of these firms up here like integrate design with the production teams, which is interesting. So a lot of them haven't been asking me to send this. Thank goodness I got like a bunch of good graphics from the projects at my old firm to show them for stuff I've actually been doing in the field. But the ones that I have, they're just like send resume and portfolio email address, and then we'll take a look at it and contact you if we like what we see. So that's like the extent of that. The undergrad portfolio, I did get more requests to kind of go through it actually, and those were rough. I could tell y'all guys about you. Do y'all remember whenever I got that request for the Perot Museum?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
To it was some kind of like exhibition design. It was just like a part-time, like one summer type of thing. But I went into that thinking that they wanted me for the position for sure, because that's the way they phrase the email. But this was like my first gig, I guess you could say. And so I wasn't prepared to present anything. I just kind of showed up and I'm like, yeah, let's talk about the job. And then they pull up my portfolio on their screen and they're like, let's go through this. And I don't think I ever rehearsed it beforehand. I think I had just finished it for that interview. I think that's why I rushed and didn't get Bijan's last project on there, because I was like, I have to get this interview. And I never ran through it. And I stumbled through it through the whole interview. And then I never heard back from him. And Diego stole my job.
Oh wow.
No. But yeah.
Wait, he did?
No, I don't know who got it, but his name was on the list though, on the guest list. But yeah, that's an example of just like screwing yourself. Always be prepared, even if you think you have the job. There's other people. Don't think you ever
Yeah.
have the job until you have it.
I would say that your poster boards for your projects are better quality than your portfolio. So
Are
like
you
if
talking
no
about
one's
like the ones
asked,
that we, like the one we
Wait.
presented the other day, like
Yeah.
the Alamali one?
yeah, like
Yeah.
even those by themselves looked better than your portfolio. Which is crazy
Those
because
were-
like
Portfolio.
Those were criticized so much and like fine-tuned so much, so that makes sense. No one's really looked at these but you guys so far.
yeah,
So you only need others?
Yeah, man.
yeah,
We
I would
gotta build
say
on each other.
if like no one's asking to see your portfolio, don't even send it. Even just send like one of your poster boards.
Yeah.
I
That was
mean,
kind of the idea of this last portfolio, is just like 3 projects, which is still a lot of information, but just 3 projects. The first one's rough. That's why I don't show that one anymore. Just this one.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is a pretty good portfolio from what I've seen. I just think that the font makes it look like a kid's pirate treasure book or something.
Where the wild things are.
Hmm.
Fair enough.
yeah, have fun with
like-
the font.
But make it
not papyrus.
not papyrus. Make it make sense to what your overall style is for the portfolio. That's what I'm gonna say about the fonts.
You should read about fonts. So like
Oh, man.
read
Yeah, read 20 books about it.
Mhm.
because that
In 20 different fonts.
because I think I
20
struggled
different
with
languages.
fonts too. But like fonts,
Yeah.
I know that there's a method. But I try to keep it to like 2 fonts, 2 sizes. only bring in like bold, italic, or underline when needed to really emphasize, or for hierarchy, so like titles and subtitles,
Right.
and then read about which fonts go well together. I don't have it like memorized, but there's like serif, sans, or something like that.
Sans and
Sans serif.
Sans serif.
Yeah,
yeah,
sans serif and
tails and the without tails. I
yeah.
remember that conversation with Bob Heck when we were making those poster boards. He's
Yeah,
like,
Yep, we
"Don't
had
put
that.
tails on on an architecture poster board."
and like even like look up which fonts go well together. Cause honestly, like I even forgot what fonts I use and if they're serif or I don't know. There's like two types of fonts. I know that. I like did a quick Google search and then followed the instructions and it's like out of my head now. I don't have it memorized. So like it doesn't take long to look up information about fonts and how they go together graphically or not.
Yeah. There's like so much to graphics. That's why there's a whole like profession for it. And then
Mhm.
multiples of that profession and just it's like only a branch of what we do. So it's like so much to take in.
But really though, cause like if I were to pull up my undergrad portfolio, it'd be so different from what yours is. But it just we all have different styles and whatnot.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's all like subjective, but there's always rules that are objective and just make things better overall. You just gotta read 20 books, I guess.
I only on mine. I only had text to introduce the actual project. I don't even think I called out floor plans or any
Really?
text at all.
No
Really,
labels?
labels.
That
Labels
might
are
be
for
the
the
way to
pages.
go, you know? I mean, an
I
architect's going to
remember.
be reviewing your shit,
See if I can
so
find it.
they should know what they're looking at.
Kind of want to share my screen. Oh, I kind of want to share my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What?
don't
I
have
always like
anything.
Oh,
I always like to put text, but maybe it's not needed.
yeah, like you have really strong graphics.
Good old Bajan's class. This was all Revit too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it is all Revit, except for the model.
Yeah, I would say you have really strong graphics, and I can tell you're really talented in, and even your sketches. So you should find a way to highlight that even more.
No, yeah, I
Mhm.
see what you mean. In the this page, I should have just like printed out the Google map and sketched over the top of it, like hand sketch. But at this point in the semester, I think I was just like slopping through it until I got to the fun stuff. Like
There's this
this.
one method to planning at our firm that we do, or mainly the principals do since they're the ones in charge of everything. But we call it a cartoon set where we actually sketch out the actual set that we're gonna draw beforehand. So, all right, first page we're gonna have titles, rendering here, just quick party sketching and words here and there, and then we just keep doing that for the whole thing. But through all that, we're like, all right, we're gonna draw a small floor plan. We're gonna need a section here. This detail is probably gonna be really important. Let me make sure to highlight and say that we need this detail and then place it somewhere. I think that's
Right.
something we we never really like got to do back in school. Doing those like cartoon sets. I know we did it for Alamudi. I don't know if y'all remember, but those what were they called? What they time frames or movie frames, whatever she called them.
Oh, the uh
What's
The
it called?
Yeah,
What is it called?
storyboards.
Storyboard.
Storyboard.
Yes.
Storyboards, yeah, exactly. Those storyboards she made us make before we made those videos, and it's the exact same way. And I never really realized what she was trying to do till I like in the profession and was doing that cartoon. So I was like, oh snap, this is what Alamudi was trying to get us to do. Like we are
Yeah.
just supposed to basically sketch out what we're gonna want to show, and it helps you realize what exactly is it that you need and what you don't need, and what's more important, and laying it all out. It's pretty cool that we actually do that in the professional side because you might think, oh, we already have these formats and we're already like organized and whatnot, but we actually are still sketching even the technical things, which is crazy to think, but the technical things are being sketched out as well.
Yeah. It really is like we're Disney storyboarders. We got all this shit that we have to put on a few sheets. And I think that's the approach you got to have when doing a portfolio. Is that's an exercise. Like making a portfolio is an exercise. It's not just compiling everything, throwing it in the laundry basket, and calling it a day, which some of this seems like it is, but it took me very
Right.
many,
I want to see
very
mine.
many
Mine is
hours.
so different than yours.
Next
Soon,
time,
soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't wait to see yours.
Yeah.
It'll go by super quick. It has nothing. I never really did a final one on it.
So are you volunteering to run through it right now?
I could, but I don't think we should do a whole episode on it because it's super small.
Do you
It's like
have
20
more?
pages.
Do you have
I
more?
can like I never did
Grad
another
grad
portfolio.
school? Make one right now.
Right now.
Live.
Getting paid.
Uh,
Dream
Pay
it.
for that. Oh, it's funny because I applied for the current job that I'm at. I didn't even have to do a portfolio. All I did was just get all the renderings and drawings I had for that project and compile it onto one, and then basically create folders on a Google Drive and send it to them that way.
Hmm.
They were fine with it. I mean, they just wanted to see what I could do, but they never really asked for it or anything.
yeah.
That's why
It really
I've
is
never
just
really
like
done it.
one or two that they really want to like see. Just if you can nail just like one of them, if you can nail one rendering, just really good. Like in my last portfolio, that one section that Monty did, for some reason, this one firm just like really loved it. And the whole time I'm like, I didn't do that one, but thank you. Yeah. So,
Always in service.
yes, thank you, Monty. So, is that it? Is the roast over? I survived. Gustavo was tough over there. He said, "Fuck your birthday."
Mm,
I
I
know.
completely
show,
forgot.
showing
worries.
me papyrus.
For real. So
Dude, I like papyrus. What's up with
who
that?
made this? A high schooler? Use word.
I mean, if I could, I would just like speak and like live with Gothic or like Old English fonts every day
Makes
for the
sense.
rest of my life, but it's not called for every situation in life.
Yeah.
And papyrus is not it for this.
Arial is my go-to, but I strayed
Oh,
with my title fonts.
I mean, you also don't have to like start over with like graphic rules in a way, because you could even like look at for example, a developing companies and how they advertise listings for a new a new vacancy. They have a format that's pretty simple to follow, and it's pretty simple and basic, and it's usually just like a photo, a title, and a description. It could even be that simple.
Right.
right. So do we want to try and see Juan's tonight?
Bro, I can zoom through it in like 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. It was like
Oh,
so
All
smooth.
right, bet.
Sure.
Crazy.
okay.
I didn't even
Take the
I didn't even
reins.
know it was this small. I thought I was
That's
better
what she
than
said.
this.
Is this all undergrad stuff?
Yeah, I never, like I said, I never made. I didn't even include Bijan stuff in it because that's how
Dang.
I cared to go over. Not that I didn't care, but I just didn't want to do work that.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Hey, I think there's a slight audio issue. Juan, it's like quiet and then loud.
That's in
I
and
don't.
out.
Yeah, so maybe scoot a touch closer. It might be like a noise gate or like something on it. But because when it is louder, it sounds like perfect. You know, it's like crystal clear.
About now. Good.
That's quieter still.
Quieter.
What?
Quieter.
Let me fix this.
I noticed
How
one.
about there? That good?
Yeah, that's better.
All right, bet. All right, let's share this bad boy. I'm gonna go full screen because it's black.
Dang. What are you trying to say?
Look,
Okay.
you won't look.
That's
You won't
clear.
be able to see it. Watch. Use it. Y'all still here with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
We're looking
Wait,
at
that's
your
yeah.
PDF for
All right,
your.
all right, all right.
is this
Bet.
portrait? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a book.
It's a book. Gotcha.
It can be printed. Just basic. I have no
Ooh.
text on this at all. It's just with the flow.
Oof.
I see you.
We're already halfway. That's the smallest thing.
Ooh.
Ow.
Damn. I see. Oof. Oof.
This is horrible.
Oof. Oof.
Was that
Hey.
And then you
horrible
jump to
rendering?
fourth year.
Yeah. Boys. Quick.
All right.
I get why you got such high praise from Oswald, and that's Mr. Exchange, because most of us, especially second year, our renderings were closer to Tristan's, or our portfolios. It was like still a learning process, where especially here, these appear done, or at least there's a creativity to how it's being displayed, and and a hierarchy in that, because I think it's the next page of the one after that one that's clean.
Mm.
You know, it's like not too much. It's nice.
This looks like the handouts that you get for the beginning of the project. Is this your design?
Yeah, that's my design. Start off with
Okay.
that C right here.
It's clean.
Yes, it is.
I
Like,
approve.
hand this back to Oswald and be like, use this for your handout for like the example page of what it should be.
I call it trash. I think he called
I
it
mean,
trash, honestly.
Dang.
that's funny. That's one thing I can say about Oswald. A lot of his students came out graphically talented. Like I remember Fudge telling me, well, Yeah,
Hey.
Fudge, telling me that he took Oswald because he saw a lot of people coming out of his class with really nice posters and he thought his were bad. I feel like I remember seeing by the end of that year his graphics significantly improved.
Now they're all good graphic designers.
Also, got us on the right foot with rendering programming.
Yeah, but the best are often copycats, and people came out with strong graphics, but it was all the same. Because honestly, mine kind of looks like yours, Juan. Because in that portfolio or that portion of it, he made us do it all like the exact same. And there is a strength in that, but it doesn't exactly push one's creativity to the fullest. Well, it helped you a lot because even like the clouds and the birds and like this one's icy. It's like the plan isn't that readable, but most people aren't staring at plans in a book. Sometimes they are. I mean the
Plans are
plan.
always rough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard in a book.
Look how bad I was technically. Look at the missing planks there.
Oh wow.
It's just no columns. It's just floating out there.
There's no. You can't.
Definitely more simplified than mine. Or spaced out than mine.
Then that crazy one.
I don't even
Actually,
know
was
how I got this 3D
Kind of-
print.
it's a bit quiet again.
I mean, yeah, I noticed, Tristan, you.
Fucking alien? Is this War of the
Oh.
Worlds?
Basically.
Oswald loved that shit.
Dr. Seuss Architect?
Eat this one up.
Mhm.
Gatsky hated that one though.
Yeah, he was like, "You build this out of," and I was just like, "I don't know, metal."
That's
He
the
was-
right answer
3D
for
print
everything.
it.
I should have said that 3D printed.
This is a really cool graphic, the previous one. I don't even know what it is. It looks kind of like a map.
Yeah, I want to know how simple it was to do this one. All right, this one I got air. Like this is an actual image of the airports in Austria and whatnot, like the flight zones and all that. Grabbed it, inverted it, added these strides of blue here that you faintly see in the locations that they are flying the most, and then add these in the direct flight paths that they're taking, and that's it.
Damn. That's
And
a
then
map?
snowflakes. Yeah.
That's
If you
dope.
It almost
me.
looks
Oh,
like an aerial shot.
yeah, bro.
It's
a
the
map.
obscurity. Sometimes obscurity is your friend. Oh shit, okay.
Nice.
I see.
Innsbruck.
Innsbruck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know how
Yeah,
to
I
say
would
half those
say
things.
Tristan did like a lot of copy paste, and you can do that. But you can also find a way to do it that makes it work. Like you can still be lazy. You just
Exactly.
Really?
yeah, you can still be lazy. I mean, like
This is lazy. This was lazy. I ain't gonna lie. I did this in like an hour, maybe at most.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh no, that's one thing I started realizing about myself. I overthink a lot of things sometimes, and when you dumb it down for yourself, that's when most of your best work comes from. 'Cause then you're
Mhm.
not overthinking all the smaller things and just looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Right.
When you overthink things, you have a lot in your head and you're going to put a lot on the page. But when you simplify
Mhm.
things, you have a simplified image and you put that on the page and it makes sense.
Oh,
It
yeah.
really does translate from mind to page.
See, I didn't even use a Illustrator for this. I just grabbed the paint tool and
Hey, it
Oh wow.
works.
you can see the shagginess.
But still, like
Oh yeah, like
it's
there's still like fogginess and like haziness to it to where it just like fits in.
Right.
You're layering made up for it.
Yeah, and
I
then
don't
just
know.
random snowflakes.
Yeah,
Yep. Juan's
it
graphics
works.
were always on point. And being
Is that a cow?
yes,
It's
inside.
A
Where the
cow
cow?
prison.
Yeah.
Mm.
The
It's
slaughterhouse.
actually a tunnel that they can walk through from one side to the other whenever they need shelter.
Fucking cows.
Yeah, he
How
wanted
many
cows.
times did you have Oswald undergrad?
7.
Once.
Every semester.
No,
Nah.
that was a jam-packed semester. It was basically 3 studio projects in one, and the one in the middle ended up being like a 2-week project. The
That one.
that one that
That
was like an exhibition.
was like-
It was like quick. It was like,
Okay,
okay, we're gonna do it and then move on to the final because we have like 6 weeks in the semester to go, and
We have
then
to
we
do
still have to do this whole other project because the
Oh,
first one ran a bit
I think-
long. I think he made us redo the models or some shit like that. I don't remember exactly, but it
Yeah.
ran long.
Just like Hoser's class.
Yeah. I
I
kind of
like the-
like the multiple in a semester as long as other semesters are balanced out with being just one project, and you can really have that experience.
But
Like in our jobs, the
design
design phase is
quite
quite short.
can
It can
drag on.
drag on, but the more it drags on, you're often just designing yourself out of the job because
Why
it's
is
like,
it
why is it taking this long? We have to also execute, get permits, get GCs, get bids, build it, get it all approved, open it, and then start to hopefully make some money back because this all cost who knows how much, and well, in the more, I mean, all building is business, I guess, but I think that one's my favorite because it's just so
Bro, this was probably my
wicked.
simplest design ever.
Right.
Right.
But
I
in
remember
that
designing it in studio. It's just like I just started off with the ring, doubled it, doubled that, doubled that, doubled that, then doubled that, doubled it one more time and rotated it. Started lifting it on one end, making it look like it's attacking.
Then you made the jellyfish from SpongeBob.
Essentially.
right, exactly.
Hell yeah.
I did it in like
So,
one night.
yeah,
I
I remember. It was like boom done.
Yeah,
Sometimes that's all it takes.
For nascence one, did you have like one rendering? That's what I
Yeah, or
remember, but it was like super big. It was like it was printed in a huge
Oh yeah. I didn't add those in here.
Oh, you got cooked
Mon-
on that one.
Yeah, Money's dead roasting me. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave these section perspectives.
Yeah, it was
oh, wow.
like Dr. Seuss architecture or something. He said, fucking brutal.
That's what he said. I was like, damn, a good way or in a bad way, sir.
He's like, it's sad you had to ask the question.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I should have listened. I should have put this.
What was that?
I should have listened to his critique on. I mean, he wasn't there, but he critiqued and said after we presented this, it was like, "Dang, you should have made this your building. It would have been even better."
Yeah, yeah,
Like, dang, you're right.
and it's so spatially rich. Like it's just fucking nice.
Bro,
Yeah.
and this one was simple too. I did
Yeah.
start off with the box, extruded the green one way, sliced it where the red is at, then started carving. I think it was carving out this, and I was done.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You dug
Yeah.
a hole in the ground?
That's not architecture.
Simply.
That's just excavation.
It's beautiful.
Wow.
Best one.
This is for even Jesus Christ.
So we've seen Vanessa's, Tristan's, and now Juan's impromptu. We still have Gustavo's. I don't know what state it is in. And I've also got mine. I want to also see Victoria's. I doubt. I know Brady doesn't have one. So that's just
You'd
like
rather not reference it?
he would rather.
Oh, wow.
He'll just talk and talk and
Yeah.
the person would even forget a portfolio even exists. It's like he's just going and jabbing and me, I'm like, here's a drawing. Look at that. Don't talk to me. But I think, as Bonnet mentioned, it's a practice of self documentation, and it's your own studio project of how do you want to represent your work. Like, obviously this isn't the end all and be all of who we are, but if we aren't documenting things that we go through in a curated way, it ends up being worse than any scrapbook, or at worst, it's just lost to the sands of time, never to ever be recovered again. And that's kind of the point of this is like to able to go back through the stuff we did, and even though we aren't experiencing it in real time, hopefully that'll spark this new process of documentation, because that's all we really have, especially now in this digital era. It's just all about production, or at least being able to capture in a framed way. And our frame is 2D, but it's also what it's built. So like as it switches also to like AR, VR, like that'll probably be its own kind of portfolio. Like, hey, check out this building I built. Boom, I'm there. You know, and it's like those aspects are always evolving, but how we document it seems just absolutely crucial.
Jesus. What the fuck?
He found a
Darth
voice
Vader?
changer.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Bro, that's scary. Make it stop.
Oh wow.
Wait, say if it da 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 da. How does it? What's the words? The fucking song. If you da 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 Daft Punk or some shit.
Yeah. And we're doing it right. Yeah, yeah.
If you do it
But
right, everybody's.
I think it's about that time. If
Yeah. Do we have housekeeping stuff? What are we doing next?
Oh
I
yes.
haven't a topic, but if there's another portfolio we want to run,
so there's mine, but that's not like priority. There's architecture and crime, and but what you got?
oh, I've had this for a couple weeks. Talking about it's gonna be more like a small podcast. I'm envisioning, so
Alright.
one or two people, whoever wants to join. Bro, I don't fucking Darth Vader. I don't know what the fuck you're saying. Some Gustavo vibes right there. You should have
Oh
used
yes,
that for your
send
video.
me the link of that, whatever it
Yeah,
is.
send the
I
link.
got you. Bro, once you get this microphone, it's nice. Just need to work on the actual spatial
So
sound
loud
of it.
too.
Like, I forget, but
Wait, that's with the microphone? It came with the microphone?
yeah, it has its
Oh
own app
wow.
where you can actually like do so many stuff.
So many stuff.
So many stuff.
Okay. Oh my god. Wait, sing something.
And we're
With that
doing it
one.
right.
If you're dancing other people, we're doing it right.
But what
okay,
is it?
so 2 weeks from now, we're gonna talk about me and 2 other people maybe talk about the flow state within architecture. So if you feel real strongly and you felt this type of flow state in either your job or one of your studios where you like really spent like 1 or 2 nights just going at it, hyped up on Mountain Dew, you get the idea is implanted in your brain, the muse visits you and it lays an egg in your head and you jot it out just perfectly and you translate from mind to paper
The big
so
move.
effortlessly. Yeah, the big move. If you can speak to that, meet us here 2 weeks from now because we'll be
I'll be
going
down.
into the flow state of architecture.
Okay, okay.
What one?
Go to normal. I can't fucking take you serious.
Alright, and what one are you referring to as flow state?
God, I'm done. I can't.
Alright, y'all.
Is that it? Or do you
Alright,
actually
we're
have
done, we're
something?
done.
We're done?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
well-
Happy birthday.
Everyone sing it right now.
Happy birthday,
I
Tristan.
had something to
Alright,
say
thanks.
too.
What's up?
Well,
Okay.
I posted it in the chat, but I said that Monty and I we go to a Toastmasters club.
Oh yeah. What's the
And
date for that?
that's next
Tuesday.
Tuesday. So
Okay.
I mean that's the week we're silent anyway, and it's a Zoom. So you could probably even do other stuff and just be listening to it or watching if you want. But just to
Lonnie's
like
got
pay
the
attention
speech.
to the organ. Yeah, and he has a speech as well.
Oh snap.
But just to pay attention to the organization of the club, and ask
How many
yourself.
people?
It's like 30 to 40 people,
In
and
one car?
they run it pretty smoothly,
Nice.
and like they get a lot of traction with new members as well. So, like I don't know if our club could grow that big. It could be fun if it does, but we could watch this toast because the reason they're so successful is because it's everywhere in the country and it has a reputation. Yeah, in the world. So it has a reputation already. So you can just
Right.
go to the website and then look at one near you, and there's like 10 even just here near me. Some
Does it
company.
run like locally?
Yeah.
Like the group that you're in is a local group?
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
on.
So
How come
like
y'all
there's
don't
like
just
so it's
how
like
come y'all don't
a
just meet up in person to do it?
We do.
We do.
I'll be in
I'll be
Oh.
in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
yeah,
Okay.
but since
Yeah,
you guys are far, you can tune
It's
into ours.
It's hybrid.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not Zoom for us, but it's Zoom for you guys. So there's a part in the meetings where they say, "Hey, if you're a new visitor, please introduce yourself and say why you're here." And they
Ooh.
do that even to the callers on Zoom. So
Uh-oh.
be prepared for that.
And because both of us are well, no one can fucking it's just like
understand.
fucking squeaky.
But
But I'm also now in charge of membership, so I'm actually the one who welcomes guests,
Oh
and
shit!
so
Perfect.
I'll be yeah.
Juan, if you
Juan,
pop
if you
in like
pop
that,
on that
Juan.
mic,
there's nothing I
there's
can
nothing
do.
I can do. Nothing.
We get banned.
Yeah, because a
Yeah.
good thing about this meeting is like what I think they do get right is that members participate, and I think that's what we're struggling with as like a group of 5. If we could get more people that become regular and even take on like roles like such as either editing or helping with graphics or social media, that would like
Or producer.
I think give us more like capacity of what we can do with this, like the more help we get.
Right.
Also,
Also, a quick question. Between
Five
the
of us.
5 of us, who has the strongest computer?
Definitely not me. My Alienware is basically dead now. Need to get a new laptop.
Yeah,
'Cause
because I'm basically running off of
that same
that
kind.
same kind of Alienware here.
My video card is shit, but everything else is good.
You
I
say
video
You
that,
say
card
that as
matters,
if it's
though.
like
Cancer.
cancer or something. It's like
It's like
It's a
it's
hand me
like
down.
shameful. Like my video card is shit.
It was my
It was
Yeah.
my brother's.
Oh wow. I still have
They're
my
cheap right
Alienware
now.
laptop, but yeah, I think the same thing. The the GPU is starting to make sounds,
Ooh,
so
Okay.
I don't know
not
what's
so
going on with
happy
it.
sounds.
Yeah,
Not happy sounds.
because if we can like pass production off,
like
for instance, in 2 weeks, Tristan,
probably
it's
best
probably
if you-
best if you start the stream and end the stream,
Or-
or like
if
because
I'm in
if
it or
I'm in it
not,
or
you know,
not, like
I don't always
I don't always have to be in it, because it's just like pushing some buttons,
Yeah,
you know.
I'd like to try it.
Cool, cool. I can run you through that, and if it's only even on like one of them, like just Twitch, and I could run others even. But
Yeah.
cool, cool. A- a- any other closing thoughts tonight?
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Birthday.
birthday.
Go to sleep to
Perfect.
that.
Oh my god. Read it. Listen to an audiobook. What the
Mhm.
fuck even is that? Like a robot alien. Should use that for the AI.
I am a German who American. Was actually born in England. I'm German.
All right, boys.
Okay.
All right, that's enough.
Oh, hey. New job starting Monday. Me.
You already?
Let's go.
Nice.
Milwaukee.
Where do you work? Or you don't have to say the
Milwaukee.
company. Milwaukee.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
you don't have to say where you work. I was asking like location.
How
Yeah,
far is the commute?
Milwaukee. 50 minutes.
Sheesh, the new GR86?
How
Yeah.
fast is it really then?
It goes pretty fast.
Like just like 250.
It's not a V8, but it's a small car though. I like it. It's fun. You guys should drive it. I'll let you drive it. Come on up.
Ooh. In the ice?
Let's do it.
Who's their
In the ice.
All right.
Hoser trip. Chicago.
That'd be dope.
Not Brady though.
Oh snap!
He'll
He
never
seemed too
make it.
excited about driving it.
I'd go to Chicago.
How far are you from Chicago again?
Like an hour and a half.
Let's meet up.
Not bad.
Yeah.
at all.
Bet.
Probably gonna end up in Chicago sometime this week.
Yeah, bro.
Y'all let me know.
Yeah, let's meet up for sure.
All right.
That'd be dope.
I'm down.
Do a trip.
Oh yeah.
Weekend trip. Down.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.
All right.
Night.
Take it easy, y'all.
Hey, dope.
I almost feel like I felt like back in the groove of things.
Yeah, I know, right?